What is considered socially unacceptable for no reason? Not getting someone a gift when they say that they don't want anything. I hate that. I legitimately don't want anything. Don't get me a gift. If you feel bad, get me a card. I save all my cards. My in-laws do this every Christmas. I legitimately don't want anything, so I get weird things instead. Waking up at 11 AM or later. I'm not lazy. My responsibilities are taken care of. I stay up late and value my sleep hours. I stay up until 6 AM and wake up at 2. I'm a self-employed artist and I'm most productive at night. Even as a kid I always stayed up, slept in. People assume I'm lazy, but I'm not productive at all in the morning. So duck that noise. Night owls FTW. Hey, me too. I never have felt so validated about my ducked up schedule. Everything I make in the morning is garbage and ends up to be redone when I have my head on straight in the evening. Playing pretend as an adult without kids involved. There is nothing wrong with an adult man building with Legos and setting up an epic adventure with them that plays out in his head as something amazing. It's escapism and very calming. Even in adults it stimulates the mind to have a self-made adventure where everything is what I want. Oh man, this is exactly what Dungeons and Dragons is for. It takes 4-6 grown-ass dudes sitting around playing pretend and makes it socially ACC. So anyway, in answer to the OP, middle-aged people playing Dungeons and Dragons. If you're gonna sit in the basement pretending to be an elf, you might as well do it with friends. Being the first person to get up from your chair when snacks are brought into a meeting room. There's always that one hero that does it though, so others can get in line. Because I'm scared of looking like I'm starving or like I'm fat. People can see that I'm fat whether I stand up first or not. Edit. Decided to influence my local meteorological condition. My dad gets super offended when I put my elbows on the table. I still don't know why. Edit. For those of you wondering if it's cause my dad was beaten for not having table manners. No, while my grandpa was a drunk, he didn't beat his children. Plus, my dad puts his elbows on the table and doesn't reprimand anyone but me. He flicks or hits my elbows off the table when I do it. I always thought this was a stupid rule that made dining more difficult, and therefore I tended to ignore it, depending on the setting. However, one day I put my elbows on a table that had a central pedestal instead of 4 legs, and spilled everyone's drinks. I instantly thought about how that rule makes sense, now that I know why, but I think the better rule would be, don't put your weight on the table until you are certain of its strength and stability. Similarly, don't sit on tables that unfold without making sure they're not going to dump you on your ass. Not that I have personal experience with that, of course. Pooping in a public bathroom. It's not necessarily unacceptable, but it's something that always elicits a reaction of discomfort and often disapproval. I've definitely heard people loudly exclaim that they could tell someone just took a shit in the bathroom acting all disgusted. I mean, they didn't shit on the floor. They went to the proper pooping receptacle. It just shouldn't mean anything and shouldn't be worth commenting on. People poop in bathrooms. If you're in a public bathroom and you didn't know it, that's where people poop. Stop acting surprised when a bathroom smells like people did what people do in bathrooms. For a long time I had poop anxiety over this. Now I'll let my bowels rip so the whole shopping mall feels my mighty rumble. Edit. Whoa. Thanks for all the upvotes, fellow enlightened shitties. Apparently self-defense isn't allowed in schools. I guess I just have to accept the beating. I say it's better to take a school punishment and show the bully who's he messing with, than getting abused for the rest of the years at the school. Edit. Not to be that guy, but the guy who gave me silver also put a message I thought you might want to see. You stay strong. A detention punishment is only temporary while abuse lasts a long-ass time. Totally. I wish more parents realized this. Showing distaste for one's family in any way, shape, or form. My aunt and uncle have both tried to drown me. Every time I express my dislike for them I always hear, wow, I guess you're not very family orientated, that's very heartless of you / I'm sure you don't mean it, I sure as hell mean it. Just because you're in the same family as me I'm not bound by law to like you or to pretend that I do. Family members can be a-holes to you and people need to understand that. Duck my family. Why is blood so important to some people? You shouldn't be obligated to keep toxic people in your life just because you're biologically related. Having fun as an adult. Fun has no expiration date. You don't suddenly no longer qualify for fun and have to live a life of watching the news and drinking coffee. People shame adults for doing fun things and that's absolute ducking bullshit. Yes, I'm 38 and I enjoy swings, jumping on trampolines, having a balloon with helium. People looks at me like if I'm mad or being childish, but when they try it with me they enjoy it too. I always get my face painted, Royal Adelaide show, like a state fair, tick, at family friendly events that say they have a facet painter, tick, school fundraisers, tick. It's amazing the amount of people that make a big deal out of it. I'm a 28-year-old woman and I get my face painted, big deal. Having more fun than you grumpy ass. Walking your cat. Reminds me when some old man yelled at me and wanted to call the cops because cats aren't dogs and you can't walk them. Get a goldfish, put it in a fish bowl, put the fish bowl in a wagon, walk the fish, stare old man in the eyes as you do so. Napping at work during my lunch break. I don't really need food in the afternoon. What I really need is a nap. Funny part is that I need a nap because of the lunch. Being single. Some people are okay not being in a relationship for some time and are perfectly happy, but other people just don't understand that. I sometimes feel like others assume something is wrong with me because I'm not in a relationship. That is, that no one wants me. I'm the only one in my family and friends group who doesn't have a life partner. Watch Daniel Sloss, Jigsaw. He brilliantly and hilariously makes the point that most relationships are bullshit anyway and it's better to learn to be happy on your own. Running everywhere instead of walking. When I see someone running that looks like they shouldn't be, not wearing running gear, I admittedly do assume suspicion. College campus is the one place this doesn't look out of place. Edit. 30+ people have already commented about airports as well. We get it. In some places, calling in sick because it's letting down the team or whatever. Duck off. I'm sick as a dog. There's little I will accomplish other than feeling like death warmed up, so you aren't missing out on much. Plus I could spread whatever I've got to co-workers. Then we're all sick. Edit. Thanks for the gold, kind strangers. If I am sick, you shouldn't want me at work, because then everyone else will get ducking sick and it ruins productivity in the office. The only possible reason for demanding a doctor's note is if you think for some reason I am lying about being sick, and considering I'm sick, I'm not going to get one, because duck you, I'm sick. So what makes you think I'm leaving the house for a stupid bit of paper? And to be clear, I'm not talking about you the commenter. I'm talking about bosses etc at work locations. The doctor's note thing is such crap. You can be sick and not need to go to the doctor. Why would you spend the money to go to the doctor for them to tell you to go buy some Mucinex and rest? I was once shamed for missing work for having a miscarriage. Worst job I've ever had. Glad to be out of there. Not wanting to hold other PPLS babies. Just gotta drop one. You will never be asked to hold another again. Refusing generosity. It's perfect alright to politely decline, even though others would vilify you for being ungrateful and cold. Edit. I am pleasantly surprised to learn everyone's perspectives on this. It seems to be different in other countries. The world doesn't seem so small right now. I was raised to always refuse generosity. It's crazy how it varies depending on country, family. Same. I was taught that people are only offering to be polite and don't actually want to do what they're offering. This one is super cultural. Saying no to something without giving an explanation. I got in trouble in school when on a field trip and the guy running it asked me if I wanted to be in charge of running the snack cart, getting money etc during the break. No, thank you. He looked horrified and I got called rude by my teacher. Standing on a roof. Sometimes. Why can't I stand on my dang roof? It's my business if I break my legs. Edit. Nudity is illegal. Of course I was clothed. Also, no, they didn't think I was committing not aliveness. What's going on here? I feel like there's some deep-rooted tension between you and someone who won't let you stand on your roof. Like, do your neighbors not like it when you stand on your roof? No, they do not. Got the cops called on me, even though that makes no sense. Leaving without giving an acceptable song and dance about why you are leaving. With leaving because you have basically reached your limit with socializing being not a good enough reason. People who can stand to be around other people for huge amounts of time. More power to you. But me? I can't do that. And I don't want to have to make up an excuse to do so. I've recently started to not give reasons why I'm leaving. Okay, I've got to head out. No one ever asks. But if they did, I'd probably be honest. My social battery is drained and I need to rest. People seem to understand that a lot more nowadays. The Irish exit exists for a reason, my dude. Realizing you're walking the wrong way and then turning around and going back. You just stop walking for a second. Do the thinking motion a la oh, I believe I forgot something, and then turn back. I'm experienced in this. Skipping as an adult. It's unfortunate because it is faster than walking and much more fun than running. I had an employee 15 years ago who was walking out of the office the same time I was. He was a middle-aged fella with a couple of kids. He started skipping. I said, "Dennis, why are you skipping?" He responded, "When's the last time you skipped? It feels great." Dennis lived in a better dimension than many of us. Be the change you want to see. I will join you. Using swings playground equipment as an adult. I friggin' love going on the swings. I'm 30 and it still fascinates me that I can quickly and easily get 10-15 feet or higher in the air with some simple leg movement. One day I was at a fairly deserted local park on the swings having the time of my life. Suddenly Karen shows up with her 2 ankle biters, hands on her hips, and yells at me, "What are you doing on there? The swings are for the kids, not adults. My tax dollars paid for these swings, and there's no sign saying that I can't. So I'll use them as much as I damn well please whenever I want." How much tax did little Johanathan and little Kimberly pay last year? None. Guess they can't use the swings either. Edit. My poor inbox. Thank you, kind metal giving strangers. Red heart. Some more info. I'm in BC, Canada. The swings were not the crappy weak ones, but had thick chains and rubber seats. I'm sure they were more than capable of holding my 190-pound self. I didn't tell Karen to duck off, but I did tell her to have a nice day. Don't let your inner kid die. Nothing wrong with getting a little high now and then. The Kimberley killed me. How is this unacceptable? I'm in my 40s Ed and still jump off these mother duckers. Swing high, jump high, hope for a soft landing. There are a ton of rules around clothing that are completely arbitrary nonsense. And I don't even just mean workplace dress codes and gendered clothing that are obvious bullshit. Even in casual situations, jeans and a flannel shirt are normal. But if you wore plaid flannel pajama pants and a denim shirt, you would look psychotic. That's just an excuse for you to go out to buy groceries in your pajamas, and I respect it. Turning down an invitation to go out simply because you'd rather stay home with your pets, save money, and preserve your mental health in glorious solitude. Going out to eat at a restaurant alone. Like, damn people, I just want a nice meal that I don't have to cook, and wanna enjoy a night out by myself. Edit. Change me to meal. Didn't notice the typo until 6,000 of you people decided to blow my phone up. Completely agree. This also reminds me of my favorite quote from the live-action Grinch movie. Dinner plans with myself. I can't cancel that again. That movie has so many great one-liners. Eating lunch alone in your car at work. It's quiet, comfortable, and I don't have to make small talk when I'm trying to have some me time out of the office. Not answering your own door. When there's like a salesman at someone's door, they won't want to answer, but they will act like no one is home and be really quiet so the person outside the door doesn't hear them. But it's your house. I could just stare at a salesman out the window as he rings my bell. Who cares? It's my house. I don't have to answer my own door. For whatever reason I deem acceptable. You came to my house, not the other way around. My neighbor also came to my house the other day. rang my doorbell, and I was trying to put my son down for a nap so I didn't go down. But then she messaged my wife and was like, "Hey, your garage is open. I can see someone is home. Why didn't you answer?" So then my wife messages me asking why I didn't answer. What the duck? For whatever reason I choose, I had a good one this time. But maybe I'm asleep. Maybe I'm taking a shower, or a shit, or in the backyard. Or maybe I'm scratching my nuts on the couch. Maybe duck yourself. It's my house. You took your shot to see if I'd answer and I didn't. Move on. Yes, a couple of years ago I was really bothered with how many times neighbors would come at my door to nag and gossip and ask me questions about other neighbors. Then my mom told me that I don't have to answer the door. Haven't done since and have not been sucked into other neighbors' dramas since. If I'm not expecting someone, I just don't answer the door. The image I got of you staring at the salesman as he waits at the door made me chuckle. Talking to yourself, not in a crazy way but just mumbling or thinking out loud. Accepting something that someone offered you. This is mostly in the Middle East I think. But it's really frustrating for foreigners because a foreigner will never know the correct time to accept an offer. If someone offers to buy you dinner, there is a very delicate balance of refusing and accepting. You have to refuse like 4-5 times. But if you refuse more than that, you'll also offend the other person. But if you don't refuse it several times adamantly, then you'll look greedy and selfish. If they fail to offer it insistently for like 4-5 times, they'll look like they didn't mean the offer and they aren't generous. A lot of Middle Easterners are shocked when they come to a Western country and they say something like, "Hey, let me pay for this," and the other person says, "Oh, okay, thanks." Shocked Pikachu face. It takes a while to get used to the fact that Westerners will just take you up on the offer. At first it feels like Westerners are greedy and they want to take advantage of your generosity, but that's not the case. It's just a different culture and it makes more sense to accept an offer straight up, instead of a whole theater production first. But Middle Eastern people need that theater production to feel everyone's being proper and polite. One time a group of us were in a Middle Eastern country, and in a way to celebrate our friendship they wanted to put on a show for us. This is when I learned a major difference between Western culture and Arab culture. See, Arabs will keep a show going until their guests leave, and Westerners will stay until the end of the show. So we had two groups of people becoming increasingly frustrated with each other because the Americans won't leave and let us stop performing was clashing with OMG, can they just end the show already? I say no, it's okay once. Then when they insist the second time I say okay. I'm getting coffee, you want one? Now that's okay. No really. I'll grab it, what do you want? Okay thanks. Black please. I just hate that I have to buy coffee tomorrow for them and it's a perpetual it's my turn to buy. I don't want to spend $6 every other day on coffee. But if I constantly refuse then I'm the a-hole. I also can get free coffee at work but everyone seems to want to buy their Starbucks or McDonald's or whatever. Best comment of the day. There are so many, but here are some that irritate me most. 1. Not considering everyone you share DNA with family. If Uncle Joe doesn't give a damn about me, and I don't give a damn about him, we are not family. 2. Talking back to your parents / anyone older than you. It's not disrespectful. Sometimes you are just saying delusional things and you need someone to talk some sense into you. The age of that someone doesn't matter. 3. Liking Disney / anime / cartoon / video games as an adult. First of all, there are R-rated versions of all of these things, and second of all, since when are we not allowed to experience nostalgia? 4. Men showing emotions, or taking really good care of themselves, masks, creams, manicures etc. Who said these were female only? Men are humans, and need to express their emotions, and there's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself.